Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Sean Moss with Down Payment Resource. And today we are going to talk about growing your first-time homebuyer business and increasing your leads with Down Payment Connect. That is one of the tools that we provide as part of our partnership with MLSs across the country. And there is a subscription version for those of you who don't already have it for free. But big picture, today we're going to talk about briefly the state of down payment assistance programs and the impact that those programs can have. We'll look at our vision of the first-time homebuyer market opportunity and talk about educating buyers about down payment programs and down payment requirements. And then most of this webinar is going to be about expanding or enhancing your marketing so that you can reach more consumers, more prospective homebuyers, more renters. And in large part, we're going to do that by looking at how your peers around the country, real estate agents and loan officers, are using Down Payment Connect and the topic of down payment assistance to educate more buyers, to compel them to conversation, and to turn them into home buyers. Keep this interactive. We have a couple members of our team in the background that are going to be answering questions as we go. Use the Q&A feature of Zoom. If you have questions, type them in. And Melinda and Tracy and our team will get back to you as we go. And we'll leave time at the end for questions. We are recording. We will send this to you afterwards along with the deck. So a little bit about us at Down Payment Resource. We've been around for going on 15 years now, and we're based out of Atlanta, but we are a national database and a matching engine of all of the homeownership programs across the country. Now, there are 2,200 some programs across the country. That doesn't matter to you. What matters to you is the 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 in your market that are best for your clients that you need to know. But we track and monitor all of the details about those programs. So no matter what market you're in, no matter which MLS you're a member of, no matter where you are originating loans, for those of you who are loan officers, we have information, we have detailed information, current, accurate information about all of the homeownership programs in your market to help you get started and to help you keep going with DPAs. For those of you who are members of our MLS partners, we will show that list here shortly, but we have integrated down payment assistance program information into your MLS property listing data, both for agents and your clients to view. So we'll show you who our MLS partners are, but if you're here and you're a real estate agent, it's highly likely you are a member of one of those MLS partners, and you have down payment resource tools and features available to you at your disposal right now without having to turn it on, pay for it, or freemium models or anything like that. If you are not a member of one of our MLS partners, or if you are a loan officer, then you may have gotten here through other means and found out about this webinar because we promoted it to you. And you may be interested in how to use Down Payment Connect in your business. There is a subscription version of Down Payment Connect, which we will show you and talk about, and you'll see in action, again, from your peers all over the country. So we're here to help our business partners connect home buyers to the down payment help they need, and to help aspiring home buyers understand the down payment options available to them as they look to purchase a home. So ultimately, we're here today to help you connect those buyers to the down payment help they need by way of Down Payment Connect. So let's take a brief look at the state of down payment assistance programs, or of homeownership programs. We have an entirely separate webinar dedicated to breaking down essentially this slide here, or this graphic. Most of the homeownership programs across the country are down payment or closing cost help, or some form of it. That represents about 3/4 of all of the homeownership programs around the country. However, we also track and monitor the details and the guidelines and the eligibility criteria and benefits and so forth of affordable first mortgage products, which typically come from your state or local housing finance agency. Every state has a state housing finance agency. There are some local ones as well. Those first mortgage programs can provide below market interest rates, reduced mortgage insurance pricing, and higher LTV financing, just to name a few benefits. Some states still have mortgage credit certificates. Those are tax credits. We break down those 3 types of homeownership programs in a DPA 101 webinar that will be coming soon. There are some other types of programs as well, but suffice it to say, of the 2,200 some programs across the country, this is the basic nature of those programs. Of those down payment assistance programs on the left side, some of them have deferred payments, meaning you don't make a monthly payment. Some of them are forgivable, meaning it's not a grant at closing, but is forgivable over time, essentially waiving the debt and becoming a grant at some point in the future. Some programs combine those two features. Then some are grants, which are a true gift at closing, not to be repaid, no second lien on the property. And then, of course, you have repayable second mortgages, typically at 0% or low interest rates. So that's big picture, the nature of homeownership programs across the country. There are over 2,200 programs, and they exist in every market. One common myth that we hear is that down payment programs are not available in my area. It's too rural, it's too high cost, it's too this or that. Not true. I already mentioned every state has a state housing finance agency, at least one. That means their programs are all offered statewide in those states. Whether you're in a high cost or medium cost or low cost market, your state housing finance agency offers programs across your state that are income and price adjusted to keep the door open to buyers in your markets. So that means that there's literally no county or market in the country where there isn't some form of down payment assistance. And then you layer in local housing finance agencies, municipalities, nonprofits, housing authorities, community development financial institutions, and so on and so forth. And you have layers and layers of opportunities in a lot of your markets. That's what we want to help cut through. That's what Down Payment Connect helps your prospective home buying clients cut through, to figure out what's available for me right now where I want to buy. Now, what's going on broadly with down payment assistance programs recently? Demand for DPAs is through the roof. In more and more places, through our partnerships or elsewhere, consumers are seeing information about down payment assistance. They're learning that these programs are out there, and that's creating demand among real estate agents and loan officers to react to that desire for down payment assistance, to understand those programs that are out there and to serve those customers who are coming to understand the full spectrum of opportunities available for them to achieve home ownership. And they're looking for you to help them down that path. We are also seeing on the DPA provider side that down payment assistance program providers have continued for the last couple of years and into this year already to increase assistance amounts, to increase income limits, to increase purchase price limits, to keep the door open for more buyers as over the last couple of years prices rose, as more recently interest rates rose, and so forth. So DPA providers are doing everything they can to accommodate to market dynamics and keep the door open for their assistance programs. Additionally, new state and local down payment assistance or other types of homebuyer programs continue to hit the market or continue to launch in markets nationwide. I'll show you more about that in just a moment. And overall, 84% of all of these homebuyer programs are currently funded and active. That number has been super consistent for years. That's about the sweet spot. Some of these programs are seasonal. Most of them are not or remain funded throughout the year. Your state agencies are perpetually funded. Long gone are the days where that state bond program, if that's how you know it, ran out of money while you were mid-application. That doesn't happen with your state agencies. They're all perpetually funded. So all of this is to tell you that down payment assistance is still available. It's not going away. More and more demand is bubbling up from consumers. More and more education is going out there for consumers. More and more prospective home buyers are becoming aware of these programs, and that's going to show up as demand on your phone, at your door, in your email, as these better educated buyers come to you asking for help with the down payment, knowing that there's help out there, looking for that path to home ownership. So I'll wrap up the state of DPA with, actually, for the fifth quarter in a row, despite what you see on the screen, Q4 of last year was the fifth quarter in a row where we saw an increase in the number of homebuyer assistance programs available across the country. So we're seeing more and more of these opportunities hit the market. As I've already mentioned, more and more PR, press, education about these programs. So the rest of this webinar is really to identify that consumer mindset and then show you how your peers are engaging with them. So let's get into the consumer mindset then. We know that consumers want to buy a home. We know that renters want to buy a home. We know that millennials want to buy a home, right? We can keep breaking that down to other demographics. The desire for home ownership is strong, not a surprise. A lot of, especially younger renters, think they have to have 20% down. We're going to dig into that in a moment. So they doubt they qualify. They don't think they have enough money saved, but they desperately want to stop renting and start accruing the benefits of home ownership. We also know that, especially for first-time home buyers, universally, they need help navigating the home buying process. They've never done it before. They need help getting pre-approved for a home loan and understanding mortgage options. They also, if they're going to use down payment assistance, need help getting sure or need some clarity or help or guidance as far as home buyer education. Completing a home buyer education class is almost universally a requirement for accessing down payment assistance. But that makes them better educated, and the DPA helps them cover their down payment and closing costs. And then, of course, we have a competitive market. We have limited inventory. We have fluctuating right now. Interest rates have recently risen. We don't know what the future looks like for interest rates. I'm not an economist and not here to opine on where interest rates are headed or prices. But for first-time homebuyers especially, they need help with all of these things. Some of these we've known, they're just universally accepted concerns with a first-time homebuyer. But covering closing costs, navigating limited inventory, these are things we address in other webinars, but we need to be mindful of the things that homebuyers are looking for or need help with. Specifically, their mindset and the misperceptions they suffer from. So here's a study that we participated in with the Urban Institute a couple of years ago. Given that it was a couple of years ago, I do want to point out we think this is absolutely still relevant and timely today. But part of that study of barriers to accessing home ownership was surveying potential home buyers, which were at the time millennial renters. We surveyed potential home buyers, or rather the Urban Institute surveyed potential home buyers and asked them a number of questions, but I want to point out the responses to three in particular. So one was, what is your biggest barrier to home ownership? Not surprised, 68%, 2/3 of those respondents said that the down payment was their biggest barrier to home ownership. When asked how much they thought they had to have as a down payment to purchase a home, 65%, so almost 2/3 again, 65% of those potential home buyers or millennial renters thought that they had to have 15% or 20% down or more to purchase a home. Where does that misperception come from? Probably a lot of places. We dig into that in other webinars. But when asked if they were familiar with low down payment mortgage options, much less down payment assistance, more than 3/4 of them had little or no familiarity with even just FHA or Fannie or Freddie or VA or USDA mortgages. We all take for granted that, oh yeah, you can get a mortgage for 3%, 3.5%, 5% down payment, right? The problem is so many potential home buyers, so many aspiring home buyers, so many renters today think they have to have 20% down, have no idea that FHA mortgages are out there or that conventional options can get them in a home for 3 or 5% down, and have no idea about down payment assistance. But where that trend is changing, right? We've just identified that through a lot of our down payment resource efforts and your efforts and the efforts of others in DC and elsewhere, attention on down payment assistance is on the rise. So we know that home buyers need help. Real estate agents, we know that you need loan officers who offer down payment assistance and, quite frankly, meet three criteria: who offer down payment assistance, who are good at originating down payment assistance, and who want your first-time home buyer or DPA clients, who want that business from you. And so loan officers, knowing that you need purchase apps, refi volume is gone, we would expect you would be out there promoting the fact that you offer down payment assistance. If you are particularly good at or expert with them, you have to be telling real estate agents, because I promise you it's going to come up in chat, it's going to come up in Q&A. The most popular question we get from real estate agents is, how do I find a loan officer that offers down payment assistance? So Let's focus now on connecting buyers to the down payment help they need. And then we're going to go back to these partnerships we were just talking about. So I mentioned this is all about Down Payment Connect, right? This one tool that we offer that helps you educate buyers about DPA options that are out there. It's a lead generation tool for you. They can do, the consumer can do a search for down payment help where they want to buy a home, see what's out there in terms of how many programs and how many dollars they might get. But in order to get any more detail, they go through a lead flow and connect to you and only you. It's your Down Payment Connect page. I'm going to show you how to get it, and I'm going to show you how Down Payment Connect works. First, let me clarify. If you are a member of one of the MLSs on the screen here, you have Down Payment Connect for free already. It's included in our partnership with your MLS. Now, there are a couple of realtor associations here that are not MLSs, so we'll handle that differently. I'll show you how to subscribe. If you are a loan officer, we'll show you how to subscribe to Down Payment Connect, and you can get some additional features with that loan officer version. But I do want to take a moment here and just rattle these off so that if you hear your MLS, know that you already have Down Payment Connect, which we're about to dive into. CRMLS in California, Stellar in Central Florida, Real MLS in Jacksonville, Florida, MLS PIN up in Massachusetts, One Key in New York, HAR in Houston, FMLS in Atlanta, Central Virginia Regional in Richmond, North Star in the Twin Cities, Spokane, Northwest MLS out of Seattle in Washington, RealComp in Detroit, Lansing in Michigan, MyBoard in Indianapolis, Austin Board of Realtors in Texas, Greater Alabama MLS out of Birmingham, and San Antonio Board of Realtors out of San Antonio, Texas. If you're a member of one of those MLSs, you already have Down Payment Connect for free. I'll show you here how to get to it. If you're not a member of one of those MLSs, you can subscribe to Down Payment Connect. Now, there are a few associations on here I skipped. Those are not MLSs, but while we have different kinds of partnerships with them, it doesn't include Down Payment Connect. You can still subscribe. If you're a member of one of those MLSs, how do you get to Down Payment Connect? I can't show you a dozen or 15 or 20 different examples right now, but here's a couple of examples of MLS dashboards that might look like yours. The point is, go to your MLS dashboard, and on the dashboard, look for external links, core tools, third-party links, whatever it might be called, the links to the other tools and resources other than the MLS system that your MLS provides. There's a couple links here, but it will say Down Payment Resource or something very similar to that. You might see the little $ with the check mark, but that's your link to your Down Payment Resource dashboard. Where wherever that is on your MLS dashboard, find that link and click on it. It takes you to your Down Payment Resource dashboard. Your Down Payment Connect link, again, if you're a member of one of those MLS partners of ours, your Down Payment Connect landing page, your link will be waiting for you, already turned on, free, ready to go, ready for you to take out to social media, email, web, anywhere, and to use it. It also comes with marketing resources and materials. We'll show you some of that as well. So that's if you're a member of one of our MLS questions. If you're not, you can go to downpaymentresource.com/DPC. That's as in Down Payment Connect. So downpaymentresource.com/DPC, and you can subscribe monthly, month to month, no contract, no obligation, for $24 or $39 a month, depending on if you want the real estate agent or loan officer version, and you can get a monthly subscription to the same tool. Agents and loan officers, whether you have it for free or subscribe, you are all getting a personalized landing page unique to you where consumers can search for down payment help in their market where they want to buy a home. You can generate unlimited traffic and unlimited leads to your page. They are your leads. No one else's. They're not resold. They're not sold off to anywhere else. And it comes with marketing tools, graphics, flyers, social media training, and more. Loan officers. If you subscribe to the loan officer version, you also get a detailed directory of all of the programs in your subscribed states, the ability to customize which programs display for your borrowers, so you make sure they're only seeing the DPAs you offer, and you get some behind-the-scenes search and comparison tools. So again, if you're not a member of one of our MLS partners, then go to downpaymentresource.com/DPC, and we'll put some stuff in the chat toward the end of the webinar to help guide you. So basically, Down Payment Connect is a personalized landing page that allows consumers to match themselves to down payment help. So you can see on the right here a sample dashboard for a loan officer version and a sample eligibility page. The consumer goes there, it's your page, they search for help, they connect with you, you take them to the next step. So let's look at how your peers around the country are leveraging the topic of down payment assistance, and more specifically, using the Down Payment Connect tool to inform and educate buyers and to attract new buyers. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spend quite a bit of time just showing you how real estate agents and loan officers all over the country have used Down Payment Connect and the topic of down payment assistance to grab attention, to start conversations, to bring clients in the door, to build their pipeline. So let's go. These are your peers all over the country. I'll tell you where they are as we go. So Brian, realtor in Atlanta. This is a screenshot of his homepage on his website. So think website, social media, blog, email signature, email marketing. These are just some of the places where you can use Down Payment Connect. Brian put a little blurb on his homepage under his bio that it's got 3 sentences. It says, hey, there's down payment help out there. Great idea to check your eligibility. Click here. He also used one of our graphics from our marketing resources. When the consumer clicks on either of those, then they're going to go to Brian's Down Payment Connect page, start to see that there's down payment help out there, and connect to Brian. Super simple, right? Just a little extra text on a home page. Here's another example. And by the way, I'm going to show you some screenshots here, but then I'm going to hop onto the web and I'm going to show you even more examples live so we can kind of see some of the context within these examples, the content around them, how they built it into their page, how the page flows, and so forth. But Susan here, also north of Atlanta, she embedded the Down Payment Connect form, so you can start to see the actual search form here, into a page on her site. The consumer never leaves her website. She just used an iframe and made a down payment assistance page, added the Down Payment Connect form to that page on her website. So they do the search, and then if they want to go they do the DPA search, right? And then if they want to go do a property search or contact her or something else, they're still on her website. Same example here, but they built it into their site navigation. So Angela here added an option in her website navigation at the top. It's a little darker gray there, down payment assistance. That leads to a page on her site where instead of building out content, options, text, and all that stuff, she just loaded the Down Payment Connect form. And you can start to see a little bit more of that form here too. So that's super simple. Add it to your website navigation. It can open on another page on your site. It can open in another browser tab. Either way, it's super simple to get people to your Down Payment Connect page and start letting them search for DPA help. Now, what about email signature? So this is a loan officer in California, and this is just his email signature, right? So we just took a screenshot of that. So Sal has his contact information and the things that you would normally expect from a loan officer's email signature. Here's my website. Here's a button to apply now if you're ready to apply for a mortgage. Here's my app, upload docs if you're a current customer. And what about those scenarios where somebody got an email and the content was interesting? Maybe the email even talked about down payment assistance, but they're not ready to apply because they think they have to have 20% down, because they think they don't make enough money for whatever reason, right? So Sal, in his email signature, tells everyone who gets an email from him that down payment money is available and you can see if you are eligible. That's at the bottom of his email signature. The recipient of that email clicks on it, starts their DPA search, connects with Sal. Or maybe they forward that on to somebody they know that's thinking about buying a home for the first time and says, hey, I've worked with Sal. I get his emails. He works with down payment programs. Check out this email below. So great idea to get that out there through your email signature to basically just anyone that gets an email from you. Here's one that we'll look at in more detail later. So if you have a page on your website dedicated to, first-time home buyers? Does it talk about DPA? If you don't have a page on your website that talks about down payment assistance, we would recommend that you start one. Especially if you're looking to work with first-time home buyers, grow your purchase pipeline, if you're a loan officer and so forth. What this team in Richmond, Virginia has done is build out a page, which I'll show you live later, that addresses down payment assistance broadly, right? And actually gets into a good bit of detail that we'll look through in a few minutes. But it starts with a video. And this is a video they produced. We have some video that you can leverage, but they produced this video. It talks a bit about down payment assistance as an introduction to a page that includes more self-education content for aspiring home buyers to teach them more about down payment assistance. Great page. They get a lot of traffic off of this. It's been written up in Inman News. A great idea here to leverage video, especially in the context of down payment assistance education on your website or elsewhere, but that was just a website example. Checklists, new buyer intake. Think about your new buyer intake process. What's your homework for a new buyer? You have that initial interview, you learn what you need to know. What is their homework? What do they walk away expected to do? This is a broker in Austin, Texas, and one of his takeaways or one of his handouts with a new client is a home buyer checklist. 3 steps. Step 1, find out what you can afford, including looking into down payment assistance programs. Step 2, do that through a loan officer, get pre-approved. And step 3, come back, let's find a home that's within your budget. So new buyers, brand new buyers, when they're being onboarded by Raul in this case, they're getting this checklist that immediately starts talking about financing and dispelling some of the myths out there that you don't have to have 20% down. Let's look at down payment assistance programs and let's get you pre-qualified. Get all the right things set in motion if you're going to use down payment assistance. This is Raul, same guy in Texas. One of the other things he did when he was new to the real estate industry out of the military was start working with veterans, and he started getting some of the same questions over and over. So he decided to make a sort of a drip campaign on social media. Could also be done via email or elsewhere, right? But it was top 10 questions I get asked by new buyers. Question number 6 as part of this drip campaign that would go out, 1 or 2 a week, or could be 1 a day for 10 days. But question number 6, when researching home loans, what's the best approach to look for down payment and closing cost assistance? So provide a link to Down Payment Connect, right? I mean, broach the topic and let them know these programs are out there, and then literally give them a way to find the help that's out there for them. Great idea to educate buyers. Great idea to keep them engaged with a longer term campaign on Facebook. Now, this one's one of my favorites. So notice a few things here. This is the Facebook page of a real estate team, and they are also co-marketing with their mortgage company, with their lender partners. And then in the post itself, what they're doing here is telling the story of Jasmine, a home buyer who they just helped get into their first home with $12,000 in down payment and closing costs. This is the real estate team in partnership with the lender telling a consumer audience what they just did for that consumer peers, right? So, hey, prospective buyers, here's what we just did for a buyer near you. We can do this for you too. Come talk to us. I love this for 2 reasons. One, that's a great story to tell, and it's a great way to resonate with an aspiring home buyer. Tell them what the aspiring home buyer down the road just accomplished. And 2, you're telling that story with your lending partner. Me, the agent, and my loan officer, we together did this for Jasmine. That's a great marketing tactic. We wish we saw more and more of this. Adopt it, tell the story. You might have to anonymize the buyer's name. I cut the pictures out here, but they had permission to use the pictures. Tell that story though. And in fact, let's make this a little competition. We'll give a blog post at least to anyone who puts in the chat or Q&A a story they have that is, let's say it's got to be recent, right? In the last 3 months, 6 months or so, have you had a closing with a buyer who used a down payment assistance program, and you'd like to tell that story? We're happy to help you get some PR too. And we've got a PR firm. We can do a lot with that story, but if you'd like to, tell that story, we would love to hear it. We'd love to learn what you and your loan officer partner did for a buyer, or if you're a loan officer, what you were able to do recently. We don't have to have permission for names and so forth. That's great if we can get it, but would love to see if anybody's got a story like that to share. We've got a big audience here. Let's see if anybody's got one to share. So let's keep going though. Video. So there's a couple things about this page. This is a Facebook page for a real estate team in the Twin Cities. And notice, guys, we're moving all over the country here, right? And that's on purpose. We want you to see that your real estate and your lending peers all over the country are successful with these ideas. They're generating business with these ideas. They're closing deals and helping buyers and using down payment assistance programs with all of these marketing ideas. So here, the main video is about how to find a lender that offers down payment assistance. That's the real estate team, right? The real estate team is telling their incoming clients how to find lenders that offer down payment assistance. Lenders, are you that partner? Are you that referral source? That's where you need to be. Real estate agents, who are the lenders and loan officers that you know and trust that you are confident can take that DPA business, get them to closing, and help set expectations? Shamir in chat, we'd love to hear about it. The closing with 12K in July. Send us more. info@downpaymentresource.com. I'm going to keep going to chat, guys. I want to see these success stories. Put them in there. Shamir, we want to be in touch. So give us a little bit more and reach out to us at info@downpaymentresource.com. Let's write it up. Let's turn it into something. So anyway, back to video. Look on the right side here. This is, again, the real estate agent team. How long is a pre-approval good for? How long or how essential is good credit? How to get rid of MI? What first-time homebuyers need to know about MI? These are financing questions, right? But the real estate team is working with their lending partner, and they're answering financing questions that a lot of first-time homebuyers don't even know to ask. But they're getting those out there. And look at the timestamps. These are 1-minute videos. One is in a kitchen. One is in the hallway. One is in the corner of a room. They don't have to be Hollywood productions. It doesn't take much just to let a consumer know that, hey, down payment help is out there. I have lender partners that can help you find these loans. I'm seeing in chat and QA, people are already asking, how do I find a lender? We're going to get to that. But let's keep going here. Seattle. This is a team in Seattle. They have a page on their site under advice for buyers called down payment assistance. On that page, which we will also look at live, we will scan the page and you'll see they've put together some educational content, again, to tell Seattle buyers what's out there in terms of down payment help, how these programs work. And their page actually ends with the form, the Down Payment Connect page embedded at the end of this page here. So it's a great example. We'll look at that one live. Ads. Let's talk about, so we've talked about social media a little bit. Let's talk about ads. Or if you don't want to spend the money, maybe boosting a post. Or if you still don't want to spend the money, that's fine. Just posting content in general, right? But let me take the ad avenue here for a moment. So Marilyn in Indianapolis, look at her ad, 2 sentences. Many first-time homebuyers qualify for down payment money. See if you qualify and let's get shopping for your new home. Super simple, so simple, right? 2 sentences, super compelling. She's got a great call to action there. You can link to Down Payment Connect right from that. And here she is. She figured out how to maximize her Down Payment Connect landing page. She gets good leads, they respond, and they're interested. It doesn't have to be an ad, just showing you what Marilyn in Indianapolis did, but super simple calls to action, super compelling information. And it doesn't have to be limited to Facebook either. So here are a couple of Instagram ideas. Bo's in Florida. Got some content here. See if you qualify for down payment help. Love this. Stop second guessing yourself and don't leave money on the table. Click to see if you qualify or contact me today. That's a great post. That's a great Instagram post. He's got some links in there. You can use tools like, what is it called? Linktree, stuff like that to add links to your Instagram bio. You can add your Down Payment Connect link there. This is a loan officer back out in California. Look at the post. Are you interested in buying a home, but worried you don't have the down payment? With our down payment tool, you can search for the help that's out there. do a search, contact me, we'll get you in a home. And I'm sort of oversimplifying there, right? But great post. That's a loan officer. And guys, I'm showing you loan officers and real estate agents because it doesn't matter. All of these ideas work. You know, whichever social media platform you're using, whatever your role is, these are the ideas that bubbled up because they look good, because they generate traffic, because they generate leads, because they've come to us and told us that I'm seeing success by using these methods. So here you go. These are just, we're putting this out there for you to swipe and adopt. Now, I do want to take a look at some of those live. So I'm actually going to hop out of the slides. Let's open the browser. I'm going to show you even more examples of what your peers are doing, but I do want to pause a moment here. Let me just show you the Down Payment Connect experience for the consumer. So we sort of described it earlier, and then we showed you a bunch of ways that agents and LOs around the country are putting that in front of consumers. But what does the consumer actually do? Whether you post about it, you add this to your website, you blog about it, what does the consumer actually do? So this is what they do. They land on your Down Payment Connect page. They can scroll down or just click the button here. It scrolls them down. It'll be your page. Now, this is my made up little demo page here, but your information is on your Down Payment Connect page. Then they enter a location. Location. That doesn't have to be an address. We're talking about early stage buyers who may or may not have an address in mind, right? It's highly likely that they don't because they're so early stage. Okay, that's fine. Well, let's say here we'll do Orlando. Okay, I could be anywhere in the country, but I'm going to pick Orlando. Let's say I don't have an address in mind, but I do know that I probably want to live in Orlando, right? Or maybe a different city, and we're going to account for let's say I said Tampa, right? Well, that's random that there just happens to be the same number of programs in Tampa, but so let's do Cape Canaveral. I'm moving around Florida just to show you. Okay, well, this is totally random now. Let's say Jacksonville. Am I going to get fewer or more counties, programs in Jacksonville? All right. So anyway, wherever they want to buy, right? You let them plug in a location. The consumer doesn't have to enter anything else. They don't. If that's all they want to enter and they want to just, keep the personal info light, if you will, that's fine. Click on Get Details and they're off to a contact form. Before I do that, I do want to show you, what if we say, all right, well, I want to buy a $350,000 home. Maybe that exceeds the purchase price limits of some of those programs. We'll account for that. What if they currently own a home? Well, there's still help because these programs are not just for first-time home buyers. What if they enter income? What if they say a single person making $97K a year? All right, well, there's still 11 programs. What if that's a house of 4 people? Well, household size makes a difference, right? So the point is, we can account for all of these things that the consumer wants to enter. All they have to enter is their location, where they want to buy a home. And maybe somebody's a teacher, right? There might be more programs. Whatever the case is, when they go to the next page, we will on this. We will show them the contact form. They'll fill it out. So we're going to tell them, hey, there might be 17 programs, or maybe it's 2, or maybe it's 5, or maybe it's 31, right? However many programs there might be, and however many dollars they might get from those programs, we'll show them that. And that's enough to get them to fill out this form and say, okay, I want to connect with Sean. I want to have the conversation about how to access those down payment programs. But notice we haven't shown them which ones they are, right? You'll see that inside your MLS if you're looking at down payment resource tools there. But we're not showing the consumer which programs are actually out there. They're gonna fill this out. They're gonna click on Get Program Details, and that fires off the lead, right? That's what triggers the lead to go to you via email. And only once the consumer fills this out will we email them a list of the programs that came up in their search and how many dollars they might get. But there's no other information in that confirmation to the consumer except for your contact info. So that's how the lead generation flow works. Now, let me show you a few more examples. So website. Now we're live here, right, on websites or Facebook pages and so forth. So let's go to buy and down payment assistance. This is Suncoast Realty. This is a team in Florida. Click on that. We're off to their Down Payment Connect page. Brandy and her team are going to contact us after we do our search. That simple, right? Here's the resources page for Vibe Realty. This is more our resources. We scroll down to finance, down payment resource. They're going to link you to some down payment assistance information. Here, under the buyer's menu, this agent has a page for down payment assistance, right? And that leads to here where she's got the form embedded. We do our search and we type in our location, let's say Atlanta. I think that was Atlanta. And then we start our search and we're off to the races. But each one of these, right, it's that individual agent's page that we're connecting to. Here's a blog post. Do you have a blog? If so, you're looking for content. You're trying to stay active, stay fresh, stay relevant. Talk about down payment assistance. We can help you break that down to 10 different blog posts. There's so much to talk about, right? But keep it simple, step by step, iterative steps, get Down Payment Connect in front of them, let them search for these programs. This blog talks about down payment money, tells them it's out there, tells them a little bit about what down payment assistance is, gives them a video. This is actually one of our videos for home buyers. Feel free to use it. Then love this, 4-step process. Click the button below. That's simple, right? Enter your household info. That's easy. We just walk through that. Get your results, okay? Once you fill out the form and you get the lead, then they're also going to get their results. Call me back. Let's talk. Love it. That's super simple. That's exactly what we want, and that's a great way to simplify it. There's the big button. Click on that, and now we're off to Chaz's Down Payment Connect page. Whatever the consumer does goes to Chaz. Here's a loan officer. We've got our bio, our loan officer tools here, upload docs, calculator, apply now. But maybe I'm not quite ready to apply, and you tell me that there's down payment help out there. I click on that. Now I'm on Vanessa's Down Payment Connect page and doing my search. Here's a realtor with a list of down payment assistance programs. This is in Atlanta. She's created a page where she's listed out some of the down payment assistance programs and a call to action to find out more. Do a search, find out which ones are out there for you. Another great educational example, letting people know the specifics, which we do in the Down Payment Connect tool too, but 3.5%, it's a grant, $10,000, $14,000, right? We're getting specific now. That's good stuff. I showed you a screenshot of this one earlier. This is a team in Richmond, Virginia. At the top, they've got this video that they produced. I'm not going to play the video, but the point is it starts with a video, and this is under their guide to buying a home, down payment assistance, right? So we watch the video, we go on here. I'm going to scroll a little slowly here, but you can see they're talking about down payment assistance programs. But look at that, there's a button. What does that do? Takes me to their Down Payment Connect page, as does this. That's going to take me to their Down Payment Connect page, as will the next button after all this other DPA education. This one takes me to their Down Payment Connect page. And then on more, we'll talk about price, programs are everywhere, geography, profession, income. They talk about all this stuff. And within the page, several times they offer the opportunity to click on a button or a graphic and go to Ronnie's Down Payment Connect page. Ronnie gets the lead, and he's built out a team of agents doing exactly this. Seattle, I showed you this example. Advice for buyers, down payment assistance. Build out a little bit of content on your page. We've seen a few different examples of that now. One with program names and details, one with content about DPAs and how they work, eligibility criteria. This one is more of the latter, but what are some of the criteria? And then find your programs. They've just got the search right there on the page. Connect to Gerhard and his team. That's out in Seattle. And you're conversing now with a buyer that has gone to a page, educated themselves, done a search, filled it out, connected with you, and is clearly interested in pursuing home ownership with down payment assistance leading the way. Here's a great, blog post, down payment assistance in Minneapolis. Is there such a thing as first-time homebuyer support for down payments? Yes, there is. They go on to talk about it, call out a few specific program examples, give some of the details. Great post, right? Conclusion, contact us today. And you know what? They go on for other resources, right? But add a call to action for Down Payment Connect. Like, let them search. Let them find the program they actually qualify for. All right, now I'm going to give you sort of rapidly a couple of Facebook ideas here, and then we'll get into Q&A. So let's see, Wally here. Simple post. I mean, in fact, it's so simple, it's almost like, why wouldn't you do this? But things to know if you're buying. What they actually pointed to was a blog post that we did, 7 things first-time homebuyers ought to know, including about down payment assistance. Or things to know if you're buying and don't think you have a down payment, and then link to Down Payment Connect, right? But it's so simple. It's so easy to engage a consumer that doesn't know about these programs in a conversation by telling them that down payment help is out there, and stop thinking renewal of lease and start thinking purchase of home. Here is another agent that talks a little bit about, this is in Massachusetts, some of the programs available in Massachusetts. Now, this could easily include a link to Down Payment Connect, but I just wanted to show you, they're talking about a very specific program available in select cities and how many dollars they might get. Great post, right? Super simple, talk about one program, and that could be a campaign. You could do that for 5 different programs and create this social media campaign about several different DPAs. Your social audience is then seeing that, oh, well, this agent obviously pays attention to down payment assistance programs. I need to have a conversation. I'd like to know more about this. All right, and then we have Shayna in Detroit. Super simple post. Love it. Down payment money is out there. Let's find it. Use my Down Payment Connect tool to find out what's out there for you. And there's the link. Super simple. She's literally saying, I have a tool that can help you find down payment assistance. Use it. It's free. It's right here for you. And off to the races again. And then lastly, I'm not going to play the video, but this is an agent talking about down payment assistance. This is Minneapolis, Twin Cities area, talking about down payment assistance, about a 10-minute video, 9-minute video, but she's basically transferring her knowledge of DPAs to prospective buyers and making sure they understand that there's help out there. So again, what video content are you creating? And in fact, I'll go through kind of a checklist here. So let's go back to our slides here, and let's continue on to kind of wrap this up and get into Q&A. We just saw a ton of examples. I'm not going to walk back through all of them, but basically, whether it's web, email, social media, Facebook, LinkedIn. We didn't even look at LinkedIn. We didn't look at Twitter. We saw a little bit on Instagram. Your email marketing, your email signature, blogs. Take these ideas and run with them. Turn them into video ideas. Turn them into campaigns. Turn it into drip marketing. Turn it into flyers, homework for new buyers, takeaways. There's so many different ideas packed in here. Take one. Take just one and do it today, and then take one more and do it tomorrow, and then see what happens through the weekend. That would be my recommendation. Leverage the experts, real estate agents. I'm seeing it in chat, but we know you're looking for participating lenders that offer these programs. We talk about this in every webinar we do. Couple of ideas here. The question is going to come up in Q&A. I'm just going to go ahead and cover it now. So real estate agents, if you're looking for loan officers who are savvy with DPA, who offer DPA, and who want your DPA business, here's a couple of recommendations. 1, talk to your existing loan officer partners. They may offer these programs and it just hadn't come up. 2, talk to your broker or your peers at your brokerage. They may work with somebody and do DPA transactions that they can recommend or that they trust. 3, go to your state housing finance agency website. Look for their participating lenders. Many of them publish a list of top producers. Some of them even break it down geographically. Check that. Those are the people doing a lot of volume and they're successful at it and probably want your business. And then talk to other DPA providers. Which down payment assistance programs are in your market? We show you in our platform. Find out who the DPA providers are. Go to their website. In fact, we even link you to their participating lenders. And just check out who's on the list. Call one of them. They're on the list because they do the programs. And if they're listed as a top producer, they got there because they did even more of them and they did them well, right? So those are a few ideas for finding participating lenders. I'll give you one more here in just a moment. Also, agents and loan officers, call the DPA providers. They love co-training. They might be looking for people to teach first-time homebuyer seminars. Get involved that way. We saw a couple examples of highlighting information about programs in your marketing content. That's a great way to offer very specific education about DPAs. Make it a 3-part campaign. here are 3 different, and I'll do one a day, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to post about DPA number 1. Then I'm going to post about DPA number 2. Then I'm going to post about DPA number 3. Great way to get content out there. Great way to create a campaign, and very specific opportunity information for your buyers. And lastly, attend a home buyer education class. Your buyers have to. It's worth you going once to hear the message, to hear what they talk about, to listen to what your prospective buyers are learning and absorbing, and to incorporate that into your own marketing. We also have a Facebook group on Facebook, obviously. We have a Facebook group called Down Payment Insiders. We encourage you to join that. There are real estate agents, loan officers, DPA providers, housing counselors all over the country. We just put a link in chat to the Facebook group. They're all over the country sharing ideas, marketing to first-time home buyers, working with DPA programs, connecting with loan officers. A lot of networking happening in this Facebook group where loan officers and real estate agents are connecting. Agents, you can go here, post in the group, hey, I'm in this market. I'm looking for an LO that does DPA. A ton of that networking is happening in that Facebook group. So we encourage you to join that group, and also to listen in and learn. Or more importantly, and I'm going to call on you guys again here, share ideas about how you've been successful. There might be, if you're in Houston, there might be a new realtor in Atlanta that really wants to get into the business and wants to help people. I'm going to show you just that kind of case study in just a moment, that needs a little bit of advice, a little bit of coaching, needs 1 or 2 ideas to help get started. And they've got the drive and the tenacity to go do it, but they just need a little direction. Share your story. And I'm going to call on you one more time before we get to Q&A. If you've closed a DPA transaction at all in the last 3 months, let's just say from Halloween to now, if you've closed a DPA transaction, tell us in the chat right now. We would love to tell that story. We would love to turn it into a blog post, some sort of tutorial, something that can help other agents, not to prop up your competition. That's not the goal. The goal is to let people know that yes, these programs are out there. Yes, there are agents who are expert at this. This is how you get it done, and we would love to do that by illustrating how you got it done. So throw it in the chat and let us know. Let us know how to reach out to you, or that you at least have a story. And I'm not seeing them yet. So I might even hold back on Q&A until I see somebody post, yes, I did one November 3rd. We got him $12,000. It was their first home. Love to tell the story. Where is it? All right, so I'll keep going. All right, our MLS partners. If you're on this list, except for Kansas City and ISAR California Association, they're not MLSs, they're associations. But the rest of you already have Down Payment Connect for free. Your MLS is a partner of ours. You have Down Payment Connect for free, along with an entire suite of additional tools that we cover in other webinars. Case study. Amber was brand new to real estate a few years ago. Tanisha, yes, we want to know. She closed in August using a DPA. Buyer got $10,000. Tanisha, give us your contact info. You can send it to info@downpaymentresource.com. Mel, if you could put that in chat for Tanisha. Tanisha, we want to know who was that buyer. Keep it anonymous, that's fine. But we want to know that story. How did they get 10K? What did it mean to them? What did it mean to you? Was it your first DPA, and so forth? Anyway, sorry, I digress. Back to Amber's case study. She was a brand new agent and was finding out that her peers, which were her first clients, had questions about down payment requirements, had misperceptions about down payment requirements, and were not getting answers, or were not getting the right answers. She took it upon herself to find loan officers that offered these programs and to learn DPA, and she has built her business on the backs of down payment assistance programs and first-time homebuyers. Raul, below that, we saw an example, 2 actually. One drip campaign he created, and the flyer, the takeaway, the 3-step flyer for new clients. He kept thinking when he got into the business, there had to be a better way, especially to teach veterans how to purchase a home. Down payment assistance became part of that process, and he's built more efficient ways to help veterans into homes. Guys, we've put a lot in front of you. I realize that. Just to reiterate, if you're not a member of one of those MLS partners of ours, or if you're a loan officer, you can go to downpaymentresource.com/DPC and subscribe. It's $24 a month for a real estate agent, $39 a month. If you're a loan officer and you want the additional loan officer features, that is per state. So if you're multi-state, it will go up by 24 times however many states, or 39 times however many states. So there's always more we could show you. I want to leave a couple minutes to try to address themes in the Q&A. Michelle, new construction. Okay, it was a little while ago. That's fine. $7,500 they used for upgrades. That's great. We'd love to know. Send us more. info@downpaymentresource.com. Jay Comfort Clark, Comfort Homes LLC, Minnesota. Buyer got $20,000 each, 3 buyers, October and December of 2022. Jay Clark, send us more at info@downpaymentresource.com. Guys, we want to know these stories. We'll give you PR. We love this. We want to tell these stories. So with that, okay, I got to stop. I got to get into Q&A. So Mel, Tracy, maybe 2 or 3 themes, like 1 or 2 each. What can we address for our crowd before we shut down here today?
Well, Sean, I will start by saying it's been an awesome group. We've had some great questions, but just really quick, I will reiterate, because we get asked it a lot. We are recording this session, and so we will be sending that out with the slides probably by end of business tomorrow. So let us know if you don't receive it, but we do have that available. We do have. I'm glad you went over the how to find loan officers, because we had that question quite a bit. Something that I'm getting a question for, Sean, that I've actually got several times, which is kind of new, is customization options for Down Payment Connect, the subscription version versus the other version. I wasn't sure if that was worth touching on or not, but I've gotten that question a handful of times today.
Yeah, briefly. So the free version through our MLS partnerships, there's no customization, but it is free for you. We're not metering traffic. We're not metering leads or anything like that. So it's free, but there's no customization. If you subscribe, you can add a headshot or like a logo to the top of the page if you subscribe. We don't encourage you to subscribe if you already have it for free. You know, that's part of our partnership with your MLS. But if you do want to be able to add a headshot or logo, you can do that with the subscription version. It also displays your name, and so it's personalized already. But as far as like color palette or custom tweaks to the emails, things like that, we're looking into things like that. We've just sort of been ramping up Down Payment Connect over the last year or two, but we're looking at trying to build out a little more capacity there. So I'll leave it at that. You don't get a lot of customization, but the most important part is you get all that down payment assistance data, and you get to leverage that as a new, unique, creative way to engage buyers. I do want to pause here for a moment, Mel. Nina, last year, one with up to almost 45,000 as a second and about 25,000 in assistance. We want to know, Nina, send us the story, info@downpaymentresource.com. Not kidding, guys. We'll get you free PR. If you're a member of our partner MLS, we'll write it up. We'll work with them. I mean, I can't make any promises, but maybe it gets to Inman News. I don't know. I'm just saying, tell us the story. Nina, we'd love to learn more. Sorry, Mel, back to you.
No, that's fine. I'll put that in. I'll put the email address back in chat again for whatever it's worth, but it is on the screen. Another question that I've also gotten a few times today, which is related more to the down payment programs, is whether or not these programs are available for investors.
No, these programs are for the purchase of an owner-occupied primary residence. You cannot use down payment assistance to purchase a second home, an investment property, a rental property. It has to be the one you're going to live in. One exception to that is some of these programs will allow a duplex, triplex, or quadplex in some markets. In those cases, the buyer still has to own and occupy one of the, let's say, duplex units, but then they have the opportunity to rent out or cash flow the other one. But it's still their owner-occupied primary residence. Tracy, 1 or 2 questions you want to address, or any themes that we can address here?
Sean, we've definitely been busy in the background. I'm loving it. All these wonderful questions. We have had quite a few questions on if DPA is available to immigrants, or if it's available across the board for those types of situations. I thought maybe you could touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, and I see some new construction stuff too. So
Yeah, that as
with
well.
regard to immigration status, that is going to vary by program. There are some programs that will go as far as ITINs, but the farther you get from U.S. citizen, the fewer DPA programs are available. That's going to depend on the program. You really need to talk to your loan officer that knows the DPAs in your market and figure out which options are available. I've seen some new construction stuff too. Yes, you can use DPA for new construction, but not for the construction, right? Once the CO, certificate of occupancy, is issued, which is probably what it's called in most states, then the developer sells it to the buyer, right? The homeowner. That's the transaction where in some cases, yes, you can use down payment assistance. Depends on the program, but that's information that we help you with through our platform. So let's do this. We have a ton of questions. I'll try to rapidly answer a couple of them here. I'm gonna call one more time. I think we got 4 or 5 people. I know there's hundreds of you on here. I know more than 4 or 5 of you did a DPA in the last 3, 4, 5, 6 months. So I'm gonna call one last time. Throw it in the chat if you did a DPA, let's say since Halloween, or even going back a couple more months since last summer. Then throw it in chat. We want to know who to reach out to, who's got that story to tell. So let me get 1 or 2 more. Somebody throw it in there. What did you do for your buyer? How many dollars did they get? What market are you in? All right. So Nia, good question about stats. How do we know how many people are applying for down payment, people that actually get down payment assistance? Nia, we don't have that exactly. DPA transactions don't happen on our system, but we know as recently as last year, about 15% of FHA loans included government-funded down payment assistance, not a gift from family, but these DPA programs we're talking about. We also know that a couple of years ago, Freddie put out some stats indicating that they had seen up to 10% of their transactions using down payment assistance. It's on the rise, guys. And every trend line we look at, down payment assistance is trending upward. So that's kind of the best we have, but we do a lot of work, Nia, looking at like lenders and their decline loan pipelines and trying to learn from that. Shanti, thank you. Let me scroll back up to that. 10K and 7,500 layered with a 2,800 concession from the seller. Borrower had to bring less than 200 to the closing. Shanti Mosby Johnson, love it. We want to know that story. info@downpaymentresource.com. Tell us more. Let's see. Luis asks, whenever someone gets a DPA, isn't the interest rate higher? No, that is not universally true. That is a myth. There is one way of funding down payment assistance programs that does increase the first mortgage rate to offer the DPA. That is one of many ways that DPAs are funded. That is not universal. So that can be the case in some cases for some programs, but there are many, many other ways where down payment assistance is funded that does not impact the first mortgage interest rate. So, Luis, yes, it's possible. Some programs do that, but there are many more that do not. Let's see. Is there a fee to enroll in down payment assistance? Typically, no. I mean, as a lender, you might, as the enterprise, the lending enterprise, you might have to pay to be a participating lender in some cases. But no, agents, you're not going to have to pay to help a buyer with down payment assistance. Let's see. Cheryl from Spokane, thank you for joining. Let us know if we can help you, your brokerage, any training. Let's see. How does an agent find a lender? We covered that several times, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. But talk to your existing lending partners, talk to your broker, talk to the DPA providers in your market. Where do you attend the homebuyer education class? We tell you when you get the lead, there'll be a link to details. When you get a Down Payment Connect lead, there'll be a link to details of each program they found. One of the details that we tell you is how to find or where to go for the homebuyer education class. Mario, yes, look at Cal HFA or Golden State Finance Authority for participating lenders in your area. How many times can an individual use the program? Typically once, but Tyra, that's going to be situation dependent. Let's see. Is this a case study here? Yes. Okay, Catherine, this is great. Mel, if you can capture this. So Catherine, so Century 21, looks like you're in Detroit. A few months ago, I had a client, Wayne. They've been renting their whole life. You were not familiar with DPAs, but you connected with a lender who was familiar, got them. The buyer had to put in $1,000. You covered the rest of the entire down payment. They actually received the check at closing. They qualified for up to $14,999 in forgivable funds. Love it, Catherine. That is so cool. I bet that was Mishta, your state agency. Nonetheless, we want to hear that story. So reach out to us, Catherine, at info@downpaymentresource.com. All right, so guys, the questions are still coming. I love the case studies. If you have any more, our contact is on the screen here. We're already over by 5 minutes, so we want to be conscious of your time. I hope this was helpful for you. We want to help you tell the story of these buyers that you've made life-changing impacts on. I mean, quite frankly, let's be honest. You're getting first-time home buyers into a house with down payment assistance. We want to help you tell that life-changing story and try to generate some PR out of it too, for you, not just selfishly for us, but how can we position you as that DPA expert and help bring more attention to you in your market? That's part of what we want to do here. So if you have any questions, if we didn't get to your question, we're sorry. We had a huge audience. They're still coming in. There's no way we can get to all this. Reach out to us at info@downpaymentresource.com. And if you want to tell one of those stories, please, we would love to tell that story. We'd love to turn it into something more. And also reach out to us at info@downpaymentresource.com. Thank you all for joining. Have a wonderful day. We will see you in the next webinar.